Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today I want to take a look at some more eBay items I've picked up, specifically some horror movies that I've grabbed off of eBay over the past number of months here. So I figured it would be perfect timing given that we are now in October. So let's look at both VHS tapes and some DVDs that I grabbed. Lots of double dips in here, but I'll talk about why as we go through this. So let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right into another eBay movie haul. I'll start off with the VHS tapes I grabbed. And this first one here, I actually won an auction on, and it was surprisingly cheap for this one, which was really cool. But this is not a movie, rather a TV series. You already know what it is just by looking at that, I'm sure, but we have The X-Files. So this is actually 6 different episodes of The X-Files. I will read them off here. We have, actually, I think you can see them on the side there. Squeeze, which is like my all-time favorite X-Files episode. I read the middle grade novelization of that back when I was in middle school, and it always creeped me out, and I love that episode. That is on here with Tombs. And then we have Darkness Falls with the, I can't even read it, Erlenmeyer Flask, Beyond the Sea, and then FBE. So there are 6 different episodes spread across 3 different tapes. And you know what? Actually, let me show the tapes off also. So there is the first one there. This again, so it talks about the air date and everything on the back as well. So you can see that there. This is a show that I've never watched from start to finish, but as a kid, I watched it all the time. And I actually started watching this again a number of years ago. I think it's on Hulu or something. I think it's on Hulu. At least it was. And I started watching it there, but here's my favorite episode ever, Squeeze. And so, yeah, I was excited to revisit this one. Yeah, that image right there is so memorable to me. I love it. And actually, looking at that, that's super memorable too. It's just the eyes. But yeah, anyway, I'm super happy to have these in the collection. Another one for that VHS collection that I just thought too cool to pass up, and a really good price on it. So they have multiple packs like this. I don't know exactly how many, but I'm not going to collect them all. This was just a random one I came across. So 6 episodes of the X-Files series on VHS. Next up is a VHS tape that I probably paid more than I should have for it, but it's sealed, which is pretty darn cool. And I actually just reviewed this movie here on the channel because Scream Factory released this remake on 4K, The Amityville Horror. Now, I really enjoyed it when I watched it this time through. I actually liked it quite a bit more than the first time I saw this film, but with the special features and everything, I really just grew to appreciate what was going on here, and I think this is a really good movie. So check out my full, review if you want my full thoughts on the film itself and that incredible 4K release, but had to grab this one. So the only thing with this is I bought it, sealed, new. I don't always talk about pricing, but I think this one was right around $20, if I'm not mistaken. So more than I would typically pay for a VHS, but it was the cheapest one available, whether used or new, so I grabbed it. The only thing here, because I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should just resell this one because I don't know that I need it, but I don't think I can sell it new, because if you look at that, it looks like it may have been opened and this might be a reseal. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Again, the price was like the cheapest you could get it on used or new. So that's why I decided to grab this one. But yeah, great movie. I am happy. I'm keeping it, I decided, and I'm happy to have it on VHS. So excited to check this VHS out compared to the 4K that I've watched recently. This is just fun. And again, this is a later VHS tape, which is pretty cool. You don't see these very often, and again explains why it's a little bit more expensive. So happy to have the Amityville Horror on 4K and VHS. The last VHS tape here today is another one I spent a little bit more on, but to be fair, I typically only spend about 25 to 50 cents on every VHS tape I grab because most of them come from the thrift store, but there are some that I do seek out specifically, and this was one of them. One of my all-time favorite horror remakes, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Another very late VHS tape. And so now I have a couple of the Platinum Dooms releases on VHS, and I think I can't remember offhand now, but I think there's like 1 or 2 more that I was looking to get from Platinum Dooms that were on VHS, but I can't remember exactly. But anyway, like I said, one of my all-time favorite horror films, and the reason I will always give remakes a chance. So very happy to have it on VHS. I only owned this on DVD prior. That actually reminds me, I filmed another video, man, like a month ago now, because I picked this up again on DVD. I actually have to edit that one and release that. I totally forgot about that video. It's in my camera roll somewhere on my phone. But anyway, that said, I do have this one on VHS now as well. So I have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and I'd love to get this one on a boutique 4K label at some point. Man, I hope Scream or Arrow gives it the treatment because it absolutely deserves it. Such a great movie. This is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. All right, jumping over to the DVDs here. This first one is a triple feature, and I grabbed it for one movie on here in particular, but I didn't own the others either, so why not? And again, this was the cheapest way to get the one movie I wanted. This was less than $6 shipped. It was extremely cheap for a brand new release. We have the triple feature of Blood Gnome, Satan's Little Helper, and Spliced. Now, the reason I wanted this one is for the one right in the middle there, Satan's Little Helper. This is actually a movie that's available on boutique Blu-ray from Synapse, I believe, is the one who released that one, but obviously significantly more expensive than $6. So that's why I decided to go this route, see if I like it or not, and then if I do, I can always upgrade. But I heard Planet CHH talking about this in a short on his video not too long ago, and it sounds like a perfect Halloween movie. So hoping to get around to this one and at some point this month here. So this is a triple feature with Blood Gnome, Satan's Little Helper, and Spliced. And again, the reason I grabbed it was for Satan's Little Helper. Next up is an Asylum horror film, which you guys know I love the Asylum, one of my favorite companies out there. And I will shout out Brian, the horror punk, because he's the one who initially showed this in one of his hauls or one of his videos, and it sounded awesome, so I had to grab it. Picked it up on eBay. This is Detour. So this is from 2003 from, as you can see there, The Asylum, and this one reeks of mid-2000s glory. It is wonderful for what it is. Not a lot of people are going to like this movie, and I totally recognize that, but I had such a good time with it. It is so much fun. There's blood, there's nudity, there's craziness in here. I mean, it's exactly what you would want from a mid-2000s horror film, especially one on a low budget from The Asylum here. On the back, it talks about a mix of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes, and I really think that is a proper comparison for this movie. I recommend this if you like The Asylum horror films. I'm such a big fan of their low-budget horror, so had a great time with this one. This is Detour. So I recently reviewed the Friday the 13th 2009 remake, and I love that movie. That, of course, is directed by Marcus Nispel. What else did Marcus Nispel direct? Something else we've already talked about today, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. He actually went on from this movie to a 2004 film that I didn't have in my collection already, so I had to go on eBay and buy it, Frankenstein. So this one actually stars Parker Posey, who I adore, and it also has Michael Madsen in it. Now, I have not heard anything great about this film. Frankly, I haven't heard much about this movie at all, but it's directed by a director that I really enjoy, at least 2 of his films. I think there may have been some others that I've seen from him, but this was the one that was the horror film from him that I didn't have in my collection, so had to get it. Cannot wait to check this one out and see if it's any good or not. I have very low expectations, but it's a Frankenstein story. It stars Parker Posey. It's directed by, Marcus Nispel, so I hope I don't hate it, but we will see. And what kills me about this is this may have been a movie that I had in my collection a long time ago, but didn't realize who the director was because this cover is super familiar. So I either had it in my collection or I had it at my family video store when I worked there, but either way, this is super familiar to me. So happy to have this one. Cannot wait to check this out. From the director of TCM 2003 and the Friday the 13th remake, we have Frankenstein. So there's 4 left today, and all 4 of these are double dips, but as I go through them, I'll talk about why I grabbed them. So this first one here, I feel like I grabbed this one from eBay toward the beginning of the summer, back when I was really big into trying to get multiple versions of the same film, different cuts of the same film, and this was kind of towards the tail end of that. Not that I am not doing that anymore, but I'm not actively seeking them out right now. So anyway, 1408. This is a wonderful horror film that's based on the Stephen King story with Samuel L. Jackson and John Cusack in it. And I love this movie. Now, I own this already on Blu-ray. So you're probably wondering, why in the world would you grab the DVD? Well, the Blu-ray version I have is the unrated cut or the director's cut. I don't know what it's called. I don't see it listed on the back here, but the runtime on this is 112 minutes. This one is the theatrical cut, which is why I grabbed the DVD. I saw this in theaters back when it was brand new, screamed in the theater, loved this movie, scared the hell out of me. It's such a great film. But the runtime on this one is, oh, I just lost it. It's like 104 minutes. So that's a significant difference in these cuts. And because I saw it in theaters, I just wanted to have both in my collection. So I will probably just do a Huxtamization, right? And combine these two together, but happy to have both of them in the collection. We have the unrated cut that I already owned, but the one I picked up for today's video off of eBay is 1408, the theatrical cut on DVD. Next up is one that I grabbed, essentially just for the steelbook because it's really cool and it's one of my favorite horror films. So I grabbed the 2-disc Ultimate Edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this steelbook is fantastic. I love this thing. Now, you can see there is a dent up top here. Not that big of a deal. It's old. It is what it is. But yeah, this is super cool. So there is the front and the back, and then on the inside, so we have 2 discs here, and the second disc has that documentary on it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shocking Truth documentary, has a Flesh Wounds documentary, a tour of the house with Gunnar Hansen, plus deleted scenes and outtakes. So it is loaded with things. Now, I do own this on 4K from the same company, Dark Sky Films, so I'm guessing all of those are probably on that release anyway, but still, I wanted to get this one because it's a beautiful release, and I've heard that the DVD on this actually looks really good. And I posted an Instagram post not too long ago when I got my home theater going again, my projector, and I was watching it on there, and it looked awesome. So this is a film I'm happy to have in kind of every format because I love the movie so much, but the older the format, kind of the better with this one because it's grittier, and I think that's just how this movie was made to be seen. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if I can find the VHS tape one day, you better believe I will get it, but I'm not spending $300 on that collector's edition that came with that stupid chainsaw to get the VHS. That's not happening. But anyway, grab the DVD, another one that was really good price, under 10 bucks for this, so I was happy to add it to the collection. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2-disc Ultimate Edition Steelbook. This next one is similar in vein to the TCM release. It's one of my all-time favorite horror movies, and it's just a cool release. This is Halloween, the 25th anniversary Divimax Anchor Bay release, right? So Anchor Bay was the kind of one of the OG boutique labels before we had Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, all those. And so this is just an awesome release. So you have a booklet on the inside, which has some, writings on the movie. And then you have 2 discs here. The second disc is super cool because that has the Halloween, A Cut Above the Rest documentary, which is supposed to be just one of the best documentaries on the film that you can find. Have not watched that yet, absolutely intend to, but I believe, if I'm remembering right, the main reason I grabbed this one is because there is an audio commentary track on here that is supposed to be excellent, that is not available on anything past this. I think it may have been on the Laserdisc release, but it's not available on the Blu-rays or 4Ks that have come out since. And it is an audio commentary with John Carpenter, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Deborah Hill. Now, Deborah Hill is kind of the main player there because there is a audio commentary track on I think it's on the Blu-ray and the 4K release, that is just Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter. That is a different track than what's available on here, and you can see it right there on disc 1. So that's what makes this one a little bit unique, and it was a really good price, so I had to grab it. I actually have one more Halloween item, one more Halloween movie thing coming in. It's a documentary, but it has not arrived yet, and I wanted to get this video up, so I will talk about that in a future video. But there's 2 documentaries that I have in my collection now that I am excited to check out. So anyway, Halloween, the 25th anniversary Anchor Bay DVD release. Last but not least today, I will stick with Anchor Bay. This release is awesome. And I think I'll have to credit Planet CHH for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook, this one here, because he talked about it in one of his videos, and The Evil Dead. So this is the Ultimate Edition, and this release is gorgeous. So this was one of my more recent pickups. You can see all of the special features on there. It's a 3-disc set. So this is cool. You have the chapter selection on the inside with the picture there, and then I will open it up. So you have the 3 discs on the inside here. So one of these is the widescreen edition, this one here, and then you have the full frame edition, and then you have the Ladies of Evil Dead, which is a documentary. So that's why I grabbed this one. Now, when I bought this off of eBay, it was listed as like new. There's something that's missing though that was not listed. That is a poster. So right here is where a poster should go. I think it has both the original art and some newly commissioned artwork on it. That's the only thing that's missing. I did reach out to the seller. He apologized. He was super nice about it, offered, a return and everything. But looking at everything that was available on eBay, I still spent less on this release than I would have on others. And I don't do anything with posters. So for completionist sake, I would love to have that poster, but I don't need it. So I'm not going to go through doing a return and having the seller lose out on money. It was just a genuine mistake. So no big deal. But yeah, that's why I had to grab this one. The other thing now, of course, I do own Evil Dead on 4K. And it is the full frame edition of Evil Dead, which is what it's supposed to be. That's how it was originally filmed. And so that's how I want to watch the movie. But I've not watched that yet, but I hear that there are some color timing differences between the original release here and the 4K release. And so another thing, I'm interested in having multiple cuts of films that I love. And so this is one of those. Very happy to have this one in the collection. Just such a cool release. Oh, definitely dusty. I didn't notice that. But anyway, Evil Dead, the Ultimate Edition is now in the collection. All right, so as I said before, eBay has just been my go-to for finding specific used items this year. At Disc Replay, if you're looking for something specific on DVD, it's almost impossible to come by. You just got to get lucky. So that's why I've just turned to going to eBay. Prices aren't bad at all, and typically, I'll have a really good experience. So obviously every once in a while something goes wrong, but eBay is such a buyer-friendly platform. And as someone who also sells on eBay, it can be frustrating, but fortunately I do my best to make sure that all my listings are very detailed, I guess. Not detailed necessarily, but they're honest, they're genuine. So you know what you're getting before you purchase my items. And that's what I look for in others who are selling eBay items. I just want to know what I'm getting. And so 9 times out of 10, I have no issues. But anyway, that's why I've been shopping on eBay a lot this year. But let me know what you think about this stack. Obviously, we're getting closer and closer to Halloween. So, the more horror-themed videos I can get out this month, the better, in my opinion. But yeah, look forward to the end of the month. I do plan on doing my 13 days of Halloween, the vlog series, I guess, that I've done for the past few years here. So I've already started watching some films and I'm excited to talk about them. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Leave any and all thoughts down in the comments below. Before you take off, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thank you again for checking out this video, and I will catch you all next time.